Hi everyone and welcome back to Saturn Secrets. Today we are doing tarot predictions for your zodiac sign for September and into the fall autumn period 2021. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for regular updates. Do you like my theme? We have a witchy Halloween theme for this video that is going to cover the tarot and a little bit of astrology into the fall autumn season of 2021. So you can watch for your sun, moon and rising. Timestamps are listed below, and I hope you enjoy. Happy spooky season. Bye. Hi Aries, welcome to your fall, autumn, whatever you want to call it, predictions through tarot and a little bit of astrology thrown in. So Aries, your tarot cards were the Fool and the Sun. So the one thing that is coming up for you, Aries, in the fall autumn season is that you're going to be beginning a new chapter that is based in a lot of happiness for you. There is something new coming to you, or a new beginning in something current that's going to bring you a lot of happiness and fulfillment. This is going to be a new journey for you. This is a new chapter in life that a lot of you maybe haven't experienced before, or it is some kind of renewal of good feelings. So for a lot of you, this could be an improvement in your mental health. You could be feeling really excited about the next chapter because the Fool card is when we let go of the baggage of the past. We don't carry it with us. We don't hold on to this old definition of ourselves. We don't hold on to this old way of looking at things, or we don't hold on to these grudges from the past. We're willing to start over. We're willing to let things go, let the past be the past, let bygones be bygones, and begin this next chapter in a way that is excited. This is in a way that we feel excited and hopeful about it, and we're ready to begin again. So there is this beautiful renewal coming up for you, and this is really indicative of the new moon in Virgo that's coming up. It's going to be a really exciting new chapter for you. The new moon in Virgo on the 6th of September could be really specific for you in terms of a new beginning, but a lot of you could be beginning a new chapter based in emotional fulfillment for yourself. So it's going to be different for everybody, but for a lot of you, we actually had the True Love card come up for you as your oracle. So for a lot of you, Aries, if you are single, if you're completely single, you could be meeting somebody that really is meant to be in your life romantically. This could be someone that is really compatible with you, someone that has a really beautiful spirit, a really optimistic soul, or a really childlike soul, someone who really enjoys having fun. They really enjoy seeing the bright side in life, someone who really is a go-getter as well. They could be someone who has a lot of projects. They could be someone who makes a lot of decisions. They could be entrepreneurial. They could be a real go-getting spirit. For a lot of you, there could also be a pregnancy or a birth, because the sun can oftentimes represent children. So for some of you, there could be new happy times with your own children. Some of you could be expecting your first child. Some of you could be getting pregnant. Some of you could be having your first child, and some of you could be falling in love, or there could be a new chapter in your romantic life. But really what the Sun card represents is emotional happiness, feeling excited, feeling like something has grown. Because when we see the Sun card, we think of Leo season, and we think of a time of abundance, of plenty, and of joy and happiness of spirit. So for a lot of you, this could be a new chapter in a romantic relationship, maybe an engagement, maybe moving in together, maybe having a child together, maybe going on a trip together. But for a lot of you, there is a really beautiful new beginning in the heart space. It's linked to something that feels like true love. And this can be true love for another person. This can be true love for yourself. This can be true love for a new addition to the family, or this can even be for some of you a new job, because Aries, your cards are really lucky. You actually have the blossoming abundance card as well. So the main blessing that seems to be coming for you in the fall time, Aries, is fulfillment, like emotional fulfillment, joy, happiness, and feeling like something in your life is blossoming, be it your romance, be it your family, be it your career even. Some of you could be beginning a new chapter in your profession that's really going to have you in a leadership role or in the spotlight or being acknowledged. For some of you, with the Fool and the Sun, it can be in terms of work. It could be that you're maybe feeling a little bit lonely, and if you're feeling a little bit lonely, it is because it is a job or a career path or something where you're going to step into a position of leadership, because the sun is Leo's energy, and Leo is to do with taking leadership, taking the spotlight. So for a lot of you, you could be in a new chapter in your profession where you're going to be seen more, you're going to be in the spotlight more, you might be taking on more responsibilities, or you might be taking on getting more recognition, you might be getting more acknowledgement. Now the beautiful thing about this is that with the Fool, it's quite carefree, so I don't feel like this is going to be something that's weighing very heavy on you. I feel like it's something where you can really put the past behind you. If you've had negative experiences with leadership, or you've had negative experiences with people you work with, you can really let that go, because this next chapter for you, Aries, is very much about having a lot of fun, whether it's in work, whether it's in love, whether it's with, you know, your family, whether it's like nurturing your inner child. A lot of you are going to be having a lot more fun in your life in general. But I do feel for a lot of you that the main blessing coming to you is almost, the way I see it, as emotional prosperity. I'm going to do some clarifiers. But it feels like emotional prosperity, where you feel really fulfilled, happy more than anything, like abundant, really grateful for the people that you have around you, really grateful for the people coming into your life. If you've been feeling really down about something, I feel like I feel like some of you have been feeling kind of lonely, or kind of isolated, or introspective, where you've really been thinking through what your next step is, what's going on in your life. And I do feel for a lot of you with the Hermit, the main conclusion that you keep coming to, Aries, is to let go of the past, or let go of any arguments or any pettiness or anything that has really been keeping you in this position where you feel isolated or you feel unsure. A lot of you have been, Four of Swords with the Hermit and the Four of Swords, a lot of you have been having very unusual dreams, or you've been having unusual health symptoms that have maybe been pushing you to understand how you are emotionally reacting with the world. Perhaps your subconscious is saying that you need more closeness, or perhaps your subconscious is saying you need to speak on your feelings more. Because one of the things that's coming up for you too, Aries, is emotional fulfillment through connection. So with the Ten of Cups here, you could be finding that you're opening up to people in your life, and they in turn are opening up to you, and there's this new experience of closeness going on, because the Sun is a very warm energy. It's about feeling loved, feeling taken care of, feeling the heat of human connection, or the heat of passion in a relationship. And also, for some of you, I think you've maybe been feeling a little bit isolated in work. I do think for some of you, you've been feeling quite isolated with the people you work with, or like you're not working well in teams, and that's to do with Saturn. That's because Saturn has been going retrograde in your sector of teams, and you've been feeling kind of confused about the people you work with, or your friendships, or you've been wanting to feel more closeness there. And really what it's saying to you, Aries, is that make sure that you're making as much time for your friends as possible, because they need you as much as you need them. And it's interesting as well, because that axis with Saturn there, it's also opposing your 5th house of true love. So you're taking your relationships more seriously. And I think with the retrograde, you've realized that you need to be more emotionally available to the people in your life, or you need to make sure that you're picking people that are emotionally available for you. But certainly with the Sun and the True Love card, a lot of you could already have met the one, or you could be meeting the one, or there could be a great love in your life that is truly significant in terms of your, you know, your human journey. And this could be through friendship, this could be through romance, this could be through even a family member, you know, that person, because soulmates can be anything, they don't have to be romantic. You definitely have someone around you who cares for you very deeply. But with the Ten of Cups and the Abundance card, I do think for a lot of you, there's great emotional connection and fulfillment being your main blessing this particular September, autumn season, Aries. And also for a lot of you with that Abundance card, I feel like that is mostly linked to recognition, being seen more in work, having more opportunities. Ooh, Nine of Cups with the Abundance card. You've got such a lucky hand. I do feel like there's a wish coming true for you, Aries, that you really really have wanted. And I feel with Saturn, it's linked to Saturn going direct in, I believe, October, an overdue manifestation that you've maybe been a bit back and forth on. You've maybe been rethinking what you want to do as a career, or whether you want to go for a certain opportunity, or you're thinking that something you really want is being delayed. Could be a home issue to do with a house, a housing situation, or it could be confusion over a new beginning, but you're going to get clarity on that and get a green light and a thumbs up on something moving forward that has had delay. So it could be a house issue, it could be linked to your partner's money, it could be linked to somebody else's money, but you're going to be getting the green light and the thumbs up to go ahead with this. Or maybe it's been a delayed new job or a project. Yes, Seven of Pentacles. It's something you've been trying to work on, either in terms of physical energy or manifesting in your mind. Maybe you've been journaling or writing or manifesting, and something's just been consistently delayed for you, Aries. But I do feel that the main thing is that you're going to have this wish fulfillment that is a bit overdue, is what I'm seeing. Something that's a bit overdue. It might also be overdue connection. Maybe there's been some fighting in a relationship and you're finally getting closer, or there's been fighting with a family member. What else? For the few of you that are expecting or hoping to get pregnant, for a lot of you it could be a son, because the Sun card can literally represent a son, a baby boy, or there could be a significant opportunity for a son that you already have. So that is what I'm seeing for you. Or a key male figure in your life. That could be your partner, that could be your father, or something like that. So that is what I have for you, Aries, as the blessings coming up for you in the fall autumn season. I hope you have a beautiful remainder of the year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Taurus, welcome to your blessings for the fall, autumn season, whatever you want to call it. Taurus, this is looking very exciting for you. We have a new moon coming up on the 6th of September, and that new moon for you is going to be in your 5th house of romance and love and creativity and happiness and pleasure. So that's quite exciting. That's a fun new moon to have, especially one as well aspected as this, because it's going to be trining Uranus in your sign. Taurus, you are due a very pleasant surprise in terms of romance, in terms of happiness, excitement, pleasure, or even in relation to your kids if you have children at the moment. For some of you, this could pertain to a surprise pregnancy, either yours or somebody else's. This could pertain to someone opening up about their feelings for you. This could be someone who has a crush on you, particularly if it's a friend or someone in your social circle. There could be an unexpected romance that comes out of nowhere, or there could be a beautiful romantic surprise from your partner, maybe flowers, maybe a gift. Maybe you have a grown child who is going through a wonderful time in their relationship. Maybe you're going to hear of an engagement or a birth or a wedding or something that brings a lot of joy. Something that is very exciting for you, Taurus. This could particularly be linked to children because we have the fertility card, Ostara. So for some of you, you could be giving birth, or you could actually be starting a new creative project. So a creative project doesn't have to be writing the next great masterpiece. It doesn't have to be writing a screenplay or anything like that. Although it could be, if that's something you really want to do in this lifetime, Taurus, if it's on your bucket list, if it's something you're working towards, that new moon, set the intentions, sow the seeds, do something towards it, visualize it, embrace it. One of the spiritual signs that you might actually see, Taurus, when you're going to manifest something or something's about to happen could be rabbits, could be bunny rabbits, and it could also be white doves, because we have the door to personal healing and happiness and rainbows. There's a really strong link for you, Taurus, to rainbows. But I am seeing here with the Princess of Cups that it might be linked to that new moon in Virgo. Also in November, we are going to be having a lunar eclipse in your sign, and I'm feeling for a lot of you that that is going to represent putting yourself first in a position in a way that makes you happy. You're going to be putting your personal happiness and your well-being first, because one of the things we have going on for you, Taurus, in the background is Chiron, the wounded healer, moving through Aries, meaning that you're actually a little bit more vulnerable than you would usually be. You're a little bit more vulnerable, you're a little bit more emotional in the background, you're a little bit more open emotionally to healing. So if you want to seek some kind of healing this time, be it through a therapist, maybe through writing things down. For a lot of you, one of the things that's actually going to help you if you've been suffering from anxieties, one of the things that might help you would be writing down how you feel, getting your subconscious, getting your feelings all down on paper, because you will either get to the bottom of what's upsetting you and be able to fix it from there, or you're going to be able to just let it out, and that's going to be something that enables others to talk to you. Because there's something about, Taurus, other people wanting to talk to you and share their feelings and share their emotions, or they want more closeness with you. For some of you, this could be your kids. For some of you, this could be a romantic interest. But I do feel with the hostilities card here that some of you might not actually be as approachable as you think you are. Now, this could actually be because some of you are looking really good. You know, Venus is going to be entering your 7th house. And when Venus enters your 7th house, you're very appealing to partnerships. But the thing is that Taurus, Mars is always in the picture as well, and by the end of this year Mars will have gone into your 7th house too, which could make you it could make you more prone to fights in your relationships. Mars is currently, as I'm filming this, going through your 6th, so you might find there's some hostilities with co-workers, people you work with, or you're just finding someone in the workplace as being like an angry bear. There could be someone around you who's a little bit temperamental, and you have to focus on your own happiness first. But I do see for a lot of you, there might actually be a secret admirer. When the Princess of Cups comes up, and it doesn't even have to be secret, it could just be that someone that you're even already involved with, or someone likes you that wants to share their feelings. But the Princess of Cups is inherently shy. It might also be that you have friends who really want to see you, friends who really want to catch up with you, or family members who really want to catch up with you, but you might actually not be coming across as wildly approachable. And that's just something that I'm getting. Maybe it's because you're very focused on a project, or you've maybe taken yourself out of a picture or pulled away from certain things. But I do feel, Taurus, that there's some people that want to communicate with you, want to share their feelings with you, and also wants to collaborate with you on things. Some of you might be receiving some kind of assistance on an actual project that you're doing. Somebody might want to collaborate with you creatively. Somebody might want to take you out on a date. Somebody might want to invite you to a party. Somebody might want to reconnect with you, Taurus. And I see that there's a lot of opportunities in the autumn fall time to form really nice close bonds, particularly with your friends. But also for a lot of you with the 3 of Cups and the Page of Cups, celebrating something that you have manifested in your emotional life. And I do think for a lot of Taurus people, this could be a new romance, or a pregnancy, or good news, or a particular celebration. For some of you, there seems to be a milestone birthday coming up, either for a partner, a friend, or even yourself, or maybe a parent, or an anniversary. There seems to be some kind of milestone event. I'm going to clarify that. There's some sort of party or milestone event or significant 10 of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Wow. Some sort of milestone event coming up that is going to help you relieve some stress. So some of you have been really stressed, or something in your life has come to an end. There's an interesting theme here, Taurus. Some of you really went through the ringer with a fire sign person, or someone who was very non-committal, a bit of a charmer. Some of you were maybe blindsided by a romantic partner. Maybe some of you were blindsided by a business person. I feel like some of you went through a significant betrayal, and you're having trouble staying, or maybe some of you were not able to travel when you wanted to travel, or have someone in your life that couldn't travel when they wanted to travel, or there's somebody missing someone in your life. But I do see that there's going to be some form of celebration that's going to make you, it's going to be very healing for you. So I do think that some of you are healing from having your hopes dashed, having your plans dashed, having something that you really wanted to achieve dashed, or maybe some of you lost your spark for something. Yeah, some of you lost your spark for something. And it really rattled your sense of security. So with this opportunity to celebrate or connect that's coming up, this is going to be something for you that is really healing, Taurus. This is going to be something for you that feels really good. But I just that Ten of Swords, Knight of Wands, it feels like you were really hurt by someone who, I just get the impression of them being quite careless, or them being quite temperamental or impulsive. And they didn't care how it affected anybody else. And you're being asked to focus on the people that are there and the people that care about you. I do think some of you could have lost money to someone, or you weren't given the pay that you were due, or something like this. But I do see, yes, Six of Cups, strong emotional ties and connections coming up, celebrations, a significant milestone or reunion that's going to make your heart full. Some of you might also be reconnecting, Taurus, with someone that you used to date, or an old friend, or someone that you loved before. It could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or you could be reconnecting with an old friend, taking a trip with an old friend. If you're in a relationship with a fire sign, that's quite long term, you guys could be talking about the next step in terms of kids or engagements or homes, or it could be that your own children are getting engaged or getting homes or something like this. But what I'm saying for you, Taurus, is that your heart's going to feel really full, and you're going to be able to feel sentimental, connect with your sentimental side. And for some of you, there seems to be a person that has more feelings for you maybe than they're letting on, or they might not have appeared yet, and they might be someone where you just instantly know that they like you. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. I hope you have a beautiful remainder of the year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Gemini, welcome to your predictions for the fall-autumn season. So Gemini, one thing that I see for you is some form of abundance. I think for some of you, you're going to be feeling more financially, materially abundant and secure. For some of you, there is a milestone in terms of money. So this could be that you're getting a raise. This could be that you're starting a job with more money. This could be that you're coming into some money. This could be that your business is experiencing some kind of turnover or some kind of big figure, or that you're going to be doing something that involves numbers. But whatever this is, Gemini, it's going to be a milestone in terms of your success, in terms of your career, and in terms of your money. And this is because we have a full moon coming up in Pisces, which is your career sector. So there could be a significant event in terms of your career success, your reputation, your status. Something could come to fruition that is going to make you feel very successful and accomplished. Now, one thing about this is as well that we're going to be having Venus move into Scorpio, which is your 6th house of health, well-being and work. So for some of you, you've been maybe very focused on something career-wise, and you need to make sure that you're keeping an eye on what you're eating, what you're ingesting, what you're doing to your body, because you're being asked to really take care of your health and not ignore anything that makes you feel like something might be off. So if you feel like something might be off, make sure that you're paying attention to it and getting some sort of second opinion on it, because with Venus going into Scorpio, Scorpio is a very secretive sign, and because it rules your health, sometimes you can ignore health issues to your own detriment. So just make sure if you are make sure that you are looking after your health and well-being, and if you feel like something's off, get it looked at. Similarly, for some of you, you might have a very close person in your life that is a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, who might need to do that as well. So if they say to you they're not feeling very well, make sure that they get that checked out. Now, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not giving medical advice, I'm just saying that if something seems off, make sure you look at it. So I do see a lot of you with the full moon in Pisces are going to be reaching some sort of success in your career. Maybe this is a new project, maybe this is being seen publicly, maybe you're going to have to talk to the media, or maybe you're going to have to be more accountable in your work. And one thing that I am seeing, Gemini, is that you might actually have somebody who's quite jealous of you. Now, I don't mean that in that they are a hidden enemy per se, but one of the things you might benefit from is wearing, you know, the evil eye, or you might, you know, just notice who's cheering for you when things go well and who's not cheering for you when things go well. There just might be a little bit of jealousy surrounding you, Gemini, and it's important not to let that dampen your opportunity or your success. And if you feel like something's going well for you and somebody says something that's kind of, you know, hurtful or a bit of a cut down or whatever, just remember to yourself, this is because I'm doing well and nobody can drag me down that isn't beneath me. Just bear that in mind if something is said or happens while you're riding on this new success. Another thing that's coming up for you, Gemini, is a need to be more open with other people. For some of you, I think you might have a throat chakra imbalance, and this doesn't always come from not speaking enough. It comes when we're not feeling completely authentic. So it might be that you have a new interest or a new passion that you really want to get involved with, and I see that with the Pele card. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? For some of you, you may have been putting up a bit of a front where you're actually okay with something that you're not okay with. Some of you could be feeling hurt by someone and you're not voicing it. Some of you could be hurt by an experience, or some of you might just feel like you need to confide a little bit more, but maybe you haven't felt there's someone around you close enough to. For a lot of you, there could be a water sign person in the periphery of your life, or this could be someone you're involved with emotionally, a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, who will be a confidant of some kind, who will be someone you can open up to, someone you can express yourself to. And for a lot of you, this could actually be someone who really, really values you. They admire you, they see you as a catch, they see you as a prize, they see you as a role model or an idol in some way. Could be a water sign in your life. This could actually be somebody with a little bit of an age difference, or this could be someone that you're related to actually sees you as an idol and wants advice for you. But for some of you, I do think it could be romantic. It could be someone who's coming into your life that really sees you as a prize. This could be someone who really sees you as someone who is amazing, somebody that is incredible. So that is something that I'm seeing coming up for you, Gemini, as well, is an admirer of some sort. Maybe it's romantic, maybe it is not romantic, but there's definitely someone, and I think it's a water sign, that admires you a lot. Especially even for some of you in business, you might be taking on a mentorship role. But I do feel with the Seven of Swords, a lot of you are not being honest about something. Now, this could be a choice of yours. It could be to do with parenthood. It could be to do with being a parent. It could be to do with being a boss even. There's something that you're not sharing. Maybe there is a regret. Maybe there is a wish. Maybe there is something that feels a little bit like Pandora's box, and if you opened it up, you're kind of worried what would happen if you opened it up. So I want to clarify that Seven of Swords. Oops. Ooh. Okay. 10 of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Sun. For some of you, it could be that you're in a relationship that you're not happy in anymore, that it feels like too much work. For some of you, it could be that you wish you'd tried harder. Or for some of you, you could feel like you're not being appreciated, or your efforts aren't being met in some capacity. And one of the blessings that's coming up for you, Gemini, is that turns around. You feel very appreciated. You feel very admired. There is for sure there is a water sign in your life, or a male in particular, who really admires you. I mean, they actually think the sun shines out of wherever. Like, they really admire you. Now, this could be, you know, it could be a partner, it could be someone you're dating, or it could be just someone that admires you in a huge way. But the one thing that's coming up for you, Gemini, is admiration, and it might be with the Pisces full moon. Because this could be a Pisces person, but it could be with the Pisces full moon. You realize the extent of how much this person actually values you, and it's really good for your ego. Okay, so it's really good for your ego. For a lot of you, you could be finding that you've had some difficulty with a child or someone that there just needs to be an open dialogue of communication, and you're really being called to be honest, Gemini. Now, your ruler Mercury is going to go retrograde for the final time this year in Libra. And that is going to be your 5th house of love, children, and romance. So there could be miscommunications. There could be confusion. You might have to go over some old ground. But this Mercury retrograde is going to trine Jupiter 3 times in your 9th house. So you're going to get the truth. The truth is going to come out. You're going to be encouraged to speak what is on your mind, what you're really feeling. And this is going to be so good for you. It's going to make you more creative. It's going to make you more passionate. It's going to take away any blocks you have romantically. It's going to enable you to release some emotions that you need to release. It's going to enable you to maybe call love into your life, romance into your life, happiness into your life. Definitely getting a water sign vibe. Also Leo, Libra, and Taurus, but I am getting a water sign vibe. For some of you as well, there could be beautiful news with a best friend. There could be a best friend in your life, or a sister, or someone you're really close to, that is going to experience a lot of happiness. There's going to be happy news. There's going to be good news. Similarly, you might need to be a source of support for somebody in your life. And I do think there is maybe a little bit of jealousy that might be revealed with this moon card over the full moon. But the full moon is also going to bring you a lot of success. So success is going to be quite a revealing thing for you, Gemini. But I do see a lot of it paying off. And I do see a lot of possibly even old romantic flames reappearing for you, because Mercury is going through your 5th house in retrograde. You could be finding old people from the past or reaching out. There could be some reconnections with old friends, or, you know, friends could become lovers or something like that. But I am seeing that there's this need for you to be honest, Gemini, about what you're feeling, and you get opportunities to do so. And when you do, this is going to make you more creative. This is going to make you more fulfilled. It's going to ease up tension if you're having tension with either lovers or your children. Or people in your family, and also to make sure that you do get anything checked out if you feel like something is off. So that is what I have for you, Gemini. It looks like you're going to be somebody's idol, I have to say. Someone, and it could be that they put you on a pedestal. It could be that they, you know, you're maybe getting a lot of recognition in terms of the news, or you're maybe getting recognition from a child or some sort of display. But it definitely seems like somebody really, a lot of admiration, a lot of increased confidence is something coming for you, Gemini. So that's what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Cancer, welcome to your September/fall/autumn tarot reading. So Cancer, the first thing that I'm getting for you is a lack of clarity. I feel like some of you are kind of confused or having trouble making a decision, or you're having scattered thoughts or confusion around some area of your life, and it's really affecting you mentally. And the reason that I say this is because we have the 7 of Cups, which is about having options, having fogginess in terms of your thoughts, not having clarity about what it is that you want to do, not having clarity about what you feel, maybe just feeling like you're having all these thoughts that don't make any sense. Some of you could have trouble articulating what it is that you're actually thinking because you're not sure. Some of you, if you're in the social media world, or you're in the media world, or anything like that, might be unsure if this is something you want to do, or it could be that you're experiencing trolling, or you could be maybe ingesting too much social media. For a lot of you, there needs to be a bit of a shutting out in terms of outside forces. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be reading the news too much, you could be watching too much TV, you could be asking too many people's opinions, you could be watching too much videos on YouTube. You could have information overload on some area of your life, or there could be something that is distracting you. Because one of the things that I'm getting, Cancer, is that something really wants to get through to you as a message. I don't know if this is somebody wants to reach out to you, or somebody is thinking something that they want to tell you, or there is a sign from the universe that's trying to get through to you, but I feel like you're not quite getting it because there's too much noise. And what you might benefit from is meditation, or just sitting quietly and tuning into your body, because with the Page of Swords, some of you might have an ailment that is, you know, you could be putting a lot of strain on. For example, you could actually have strained something in your body and you're not listening to your body, so you're going over and over at it. Or you could be having a reaction to a certain type of food and you're not listening to your body, so you're just going over it again. The cards are kind of saying to you, sit quietly and silently, because there is a message trying to get through. A lot of you could be very confused about what it is that you want to do in general, maybe what your purpose is, maybe what the next step is, maybe if you're, you know, happy with who you're with. You could be feeling like there's maybe too many options on the table in some regard, Cancer, or you could be feeling a little bit like maybe even some of you want more options, maybe some of you want possibilities. But what I'm seeing for you as the main thing here, Cancer, is that a lot of doors are going to open for you. And you're going to have trouble ascertaining what it is that they want to do, what you want to do with it. One of the things that might be confusing to you is your home situation. For a lot of you, I think you're maybe going to be in the next few months, in the fall, autumn, either looking at homes to live in. You could be moving in with somebody, you could be changing, you could be deciding what you want to do to your home, how you want it to look, who you want to live with, where you want to live. You could have a lot of confusion over your home issues at the moment. Or you could be having trouble, Cancer, figuring that out, because Mercury is in Libra going retrograde. And when it goes retrograde, it's about revisiting, rethinking, and really not starting anything particularly new. So for a lot of you, if you're in the process of changing your home or looking at your home, looking for a new home, just continue doing that if that's something that you're doing, but you might feel a bit of confusion surrounding it. The great thing is, Cancer, if you keep open-minded and you keep open to possibilities regarding your housing situation, your home situation, there's going to be a lot of luck coming in for you in terms of either loans, other people's money, tax, inheritance, or maybe even financially, joining with somebody, because Mercury is going to trine Jupiter in your 8th house 3 times. So for a lot of you, your home situation is going to work out really well. Either this is getting a new home, or your lease being renewed when you want it to be renewed, or getting the house you're looking for, or finding the perfect fit, or something like that. For a lot of you, your home and family situation is improving a lot by the end of the year, Cancer. That is something that is coming up for you. Your home and housing situation is going to work out well, even if you're confused right now. So if you're confused about anything home related, maybe that's even moving in with somebody, or living with someone, or finding a home, or redecorating, something as simple as that, it's all going to work out for the better. And it's going to work out well. One of the other things that you might find beneficial, Cancer, is organizing your admin, like organizing through your papers, because if you keep a lot of old papers or documents that you really don't need, that can create stagnant energy. It's not good in feng shui. If you're trying to get new opportunities, clear out your inbox, clear out your mail, clear out your admin, all that different stuff to let new opportunities come in. And the more that you do that, the more that possibilities and opportunities are going to come into you, Cancer, particularly through email. So if you're hoping for emails with opportunities, or you're waiting for an email, this is something that's going to happen, but it wants you to clear space, Cancer. One of the things that's kind of blocking you is holding on to the past, because we have the 10 of Swords, the Magician, and the Strength card. So for a lot of you, there has been a strong betrayal in your life, or an ending that you were blindsided by, or you felt stabbed in the back by people in your life that you really didn't expect. And this is something that's coming up for a reason. This is something that's coming up so that you can say that no matter how long ago this is, you might have trouble manifesting. And I know that manifesting is such a buzzword at the moment, but with the Magician card, you might be having trouble accessing your own personal magic. Or you could be having, if you're a witchy person, trouble manifesting, or in spell work, or something like this. And a lot of you might need to release it, because the Magician is Gemini. And Gemini is your 12th house of the subconscious. So some of you could have subconscious blocks that are stopping you from manifesting. And you need to figure out how to release those. And for a lot of you, I do feel like you're releasing clutter, or items, or clothes or something in your house that is not actually good energy. It could be that you have a lot of your ex's stuff, or it could be that you have pictures of your ex all over the place, or it could be that you have old documents from old jobs where you were bullied or something like that. This is about taking away what you really don't need, especially around or before the 21st of September. That is the time to let go of bad energy. So that, if you do it with the Ten of Swords and the Magician, will open you up to new things coming in, manifestations, and it will also make you feel stronger with the Strength card here. For some of you, Cancer, I think that there is a Leo person in your life, Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, who really wants to support you emotionally or has been a great source of support, someone who really cares about you, but they want you to be a little less attached to the past, or they want you to be a little less stubborn because they really, really care about you. So there's Leo energy in your life, someone who really cares about you, someone who really loves you, appreciates you, really wants to make you happy. And this person will be, for you in the next few months, a shining star, someone who really cares about you. For a lot of you, it could be a water sign. If you're single, the Queen of Cups, the Star, and the Ten of Cups, you might meet someone who is very well known, or someone who has an amazing family, or someone who is in the spotlight in some way, or someone who just twinkles. They just have a twinkly energy. So if you're on the lookout, that could be someone who comes into your life. There seems to be a person for you, Cancer. Could be friendship, could be romantic, could be someone you already know, someone who is a shining star, or someone who's going to be in the spotlight. It could also be for some of you that you yourselves are going to be in the spotlight or being recognized for your talents, especially if they are empathic, if they're healing, maybe in the medical field, maybe in the creative field, something that is very healing and makes others feel good about themselves. I do see as well, some of you might have a really beautiful trip coming up with a romantic partner, or you might have a really beautiful manifestation coming up for you once you let go of some stuff. Once you let go of some stuff, it seems to be really clear for you, Cancer, that there's a process of like letting go of some things. And also with the Page of Swords and the Star, make sure that you are keeping an eye on your emails coming in. Because I get this sense of an opportunity might come in, or someone might want to reach out to you that is really beneficial to you in some way, shape or form. Could be in terms of career, and it could be in terms of, even alerting you to something. There might be someone who gives you news. There might be someone who gives you, let me see. There might be somebody who gives you news and clarity surrounding health. So for you, your 6th house, Cancer, would actually be Sagittarius, and we're going to have Venus going into Sagittarius in the next few months, where you might have a lot of opportunity to start a new fitness regime. Some of you might realize that you have been ignoring your body in some way, and you need to listen to your body if it's telling you something. That is something that I'm getting as well. And certainly if some of you are seeking expertise on a health issue, you might get a lot of clarity and expert advice in November, towards the end of November. And this could be a time when you hire a personal trainer, or you hire a nutritionist or a dietitian, or you come across a really good doctor, or you come across a really good healer in some way that's really going to help you get to the root of something. And also, if you're maybe experiencing, with Saturn and Jupiter being in Aquarius, if you're maybe experiencing a little bit of trust issues or paranoia, this is again maybe linked to things that you're holding on to or hoarding from the past. And letting go of that will really help. So that is what I have for you, Cancer, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Leo, welcome to your tarot predictions for the fall-autumn period starting with September. Leo, you seem to be... You're really trying to be strong about something is what I'm getting. A lot of you are really trying to be, either brave, or you're trying to put on a brave face, or you're trying to take everything on, or you're trying to keep pushing on. But some of you recently have encountered quite an upset. So this could be something that ranges from, you know, disappointment to grief. It could be anywhere in the spectrum for you, but there's a bit of sadness there for you, Leo. Maybe surrounding the past, maybe surrounding past missed opportunities, maybe surrounding past relationships, maybe surrounding somewhere you've left, somewhere you used to live, maybe something to do with health, maybe something to do with family. But a lot of you seem to be putting on a very brave face and trying to push on regardless. And I do feel for a lot of you that this is something that maybe is preventing you from connecting to your heart. One way that I see this is that maybe some of you are appearing to be, you know, you're appearing so strong, so confident that you're not actually letting anybody know that you're struggling. Maybe some of you are upset about something and you're not letting others know, you're not letting other people help. Because with the receptivity card, a lot of you are being asked to let others help you where you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or upset. So this card says, allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So one thing that I am seeing for you, Leo, is that you're really pushing on with something where there might actually be a bit of buried stuff. So maybe you're holding back how you feel about something, where someone's upset you. Maybe you're holding back on saying no to others in terms of the demands they're making on you, maybe in the workplace. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit off and you don't know why. Anything like this, Leo, because I am seeing with the 4th chakra card that some of you are a bit disconnected from your heart space. Now, this can be for a number of reasons. This can just be that you're super busy and you're not really having a moment to acknowledge your emotions. Fire signs can do that. Fire signs are very sensitive people, and they can find that they're always trying to get things done, to, you know, dance with life, embrace the next thing, get stuff done, get things moving. That oftentimes they can feel emotionally clogged. They can be like, right, I'm over it, but they're not over it. You know what I mean? So for a lot of you, I am feeling like there's this push to be okay or to seem okay to the expense of actually letting other people in, and it really wants you to open your heart to other people. Really wants you as well to open yourself up to something beyond what you can see. Maybe if you're a really hard worker, you're not necessarily connected to your spiritual side. Maybe you're not connected to you know, believing in something beyond yourself. Because I do feel with the 5 of Cups and the Door to Spirit, some of you might be grieving, or some of you might be, you know, carrying around this hurt, and you maybe don't even realize it. Maybe you're just feeling off and you don't know why. But let's look into it a little bit more. Okay, so we have the Lovers. So maybe for some of you it was a past disappointment in terms of romance. Maybe you were really hurt by somebody, maybe someone blindsided you, or maybe you're just feeling a little bit worried about the future of your romantic relationship. One thing that I am seeing for you, Leo, is that if you're completely single in the next 4 months, because of the 4th chakra card and the Lovers, if you can let people in a little bit more, there might actually be a new relationship on the horizon, because the Lovers and the Fool often indicates someone brand new, a brand new chapter, a brand new energy, someone who really is something new for you. This is if you're single. But with the 10 of Swords, I feel for a lot of you that it might be that you're not able to get into romance at the minute because you're so hung up on the past, or you're still not over somebody. And if you're not over somebody, that's okay. You go at your own pace. With the 5 of Cups, I do feel for a lot of you that that might be true, that maybe there are romantic opportunities, but you're not over somebody, or you're not over what's happened. Or maybe you have, you know, maybe you're in a relationship and your partner wants to get engaged or married, but you're not ready because you're very hurt by something else that's happened in your life. Maybe you lost a job, maybe you lost a parent, or something like this. What I am seeing for you, Leo, as one of the best things about this is that with the last tail end of Jupiter going through your 7th house, a lot of you are going through tremendous romantic balance and healing. It's almost like, I often find with Saturn and Jupiter being in the same sign, there can be this really strong sense of some things go really well, and then some things in your relationships really mature you. So for a lot of you, I find that there is a balance here between really falling for somebody and really being emotionally wrapped up in a relationship, and also balancing it with being sensible. And the reason you can do that is because of the stuff you've had to go through. Like maybe you're just not ready to throw yourself into something, and you want to go slow in a new relationship, and this is a great thing. Or maybe it is that in a current relationship you guys have to figure out a way to balance each other's needs and communicate instead of letting resentment build. Because sometimes, and don't take this the wrong way, Leo, it's not meant to be offensive, but sometimes with Leos, in fact sometimes with fixed signs, you can brush stuff under the rug because you don't want to believe there's a problem in a relationship or like an issue. And sometimes you can see minor issues as big problems. So for some of you, maybe you're opening up a little bit more about what bothers you, or that you're not actually okay with something and you'd like a bit more receptivity there, or maybe you would like to adapt a little bit more to your partner's needs. But I'm seeing romantic balance as being something that benefits you, that you're not going to just rush into a relationship, or you're not just going to, you know, assume someone is the best person for you in the early stages. And this is going to be something that really benefits you in the long run, because you're going to be a lot more attractive to healthier candidates. For those of you in a relationship, I do see that if there has been a really tough time for either you or your partner, there's going to be a lot of healing. And maybe even for some of you, there could be, with the Empress and the Temperance card, there could be there could actually be something you work on together. Something you work on together that is very fruitful for both of you. So that is something that seems to be coming up for you, Leo, is a lot of healing and love in particular, and balance in love. And maybe even a new romantic relationship when you're ready, if you're ready for somebody. And if you're currently in a relationship, I think a lot of you are going to find a lot more vulnerability in your partnership, you know, a lot more vulnerability with the other person. With the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, a lot of you actually really want to start something new. And I don't know if this is a course, I don't know if this is a new job, or I don't know if this is studying something on the side or a new hobby, but you're scared of it not being prestigious enough, or not making enough money, or not maybe you don't feel like you have the time, maybe you feel like you're too old. Whatever this is, you owe it to yourself to look. You owe it to yourself to try. You owe it to yourself to be open to whatever this is. I think for some of you it is a new project, or it is a new passion, or it is a new profession maybe you want to look into, or a new source of study. Whatever it is, you owe it to yourself to look into it, and the time is going to pass anyway. One of the big blessings I see coming for you, Leo, is a change in perspective, but certainly an opening of your heart chakra too. And for some of you, what you might find is that as you open your heart chakra, you may find yourself maybe more tearful than usual. You might find you know, a bit of chest tension. You might find yourself more emotionally expressive, and you could initially think this is bad, but it's actually you opening your heart up to the world again. Because with the Temperance card and the Empress, a lot of you are going to be blessed in the next few months with a lot of beauty, a lot of beautiful people, beautiful surroundings, beautiful food, beautiful luxury. And some of you also may find that you have a female spirit guide. This could be a female that acts as a guardian angel in your life. This could be someone who's literally alive and kicking. It could be someone who's been through a lot of pain, but they're a really beautiful soul, and you guys are going to commit to healing together. Maybe you're going to Reiki healers together, or you're going to try psychics together, or something like this. There's going to be healing with a key female in your life. But I do feel like some of you are going to unclog some emotional disappointments surrounding romance, surrounding love, and you're finally going to heal those, see your worth, see your beauty. And when you do, I think you'll have a lot of options and a lot of opportunities for somebody new, and someone who can be present for you. And maybe even give a second chance to somebody with the Judgment card that you never got over, or they never got over you. So that could be interesting. So that's what I have for you, Leo, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome to your tarot predictions for September and fall autumn. So Virgo, your tarot cards were the Devil, maybe you're going as the Devil for Halloween, and the Chariot. So one of the main things coming up for you Virgo, a lot of you have been having very intrusive or upsetting thoughts, either about yourself or about your life or about your past or something like this. You may be feeling guilt or shame for your decisions, for your experiences. You might be feeling doubt about yourself. You might be finding your mind is going on this negative loop about who you are, your potential, and what it is that you can do in this life, or how you can simply turn things around. I feel with the Devil card that a lot of you are really struggling by something weighing you down, like you feel chained to something in your life. For some of you, and this is just a select few, but some of you, it could be to do with the fact that you're either with somebody who is really, really negative, or it could be that you are with somebody who is really, really unwell, and this is what's weighing you down. Whatever it is, Virgo, you are going to take back your power. Whatever is happening in your life that is making you feel powerless, maybe you feel like you can't change things for someone you want to change with, maybe you have a partner who's got addictions, or you've got addictions, or maybe you're just having addictive thoughts. There is something in your life weighing you down, and you're going to take back your power in the last few months of the year with the Chariot card. A lot of you are going to be taking back your feeling of being in the driving seat, feeling like you can make your own decisions, feeling like you can make your own life choices. For some of you, this could involve leaving behind something really toxic. It could be a really toxic boss. It could be a toxic relationship. And I mean toxic in the sense that it doesn't necessarily mean anybody's a bad person. Sometimes the Devil can, though. But it doesn't mean that anybody's a bad person, but it means that you're taking back your control in a situation where things are not good. You know, either your mind is having really unhelpful thoughts or something like this, and you're taking back your power either by getting help, or by changing your mindset, or by trying something new. For some of you, you might be changing jobs. Some of you might actually be getting your own business. But what I really see you doing, Virgo, is taking responsibility for your own decisions in the now. It's not about what you've done in the past. It's not about who you've been. It's not about where you've come from or what anybody else has done to you or for you. You're taking back your feeling of personal power. And your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So for a lot of you, I feel like you're really going to be empowering yourself in some form, Virgo. Maybe you're going to be reading a book that really inspires you. But with the new moon coming up in your sign next week as I'm doing this video, so you could be watching this afterwards, but with the new moon coming up in your sign, being such a positive new moon with a link to Pluto and a link to Uranus, whatever you want to call it, just, you know, it's tricky to pronounce that one, I have to say. It can go either way. With the liberation and the personal power coming from that, you're going to step into your own power, because Pluto's actually in Capricorn, and Capricorn rules the Devil card. So you're going to be taking back your power. Pluto's about power. It's about transformations. And with it going through Capricorn, Virgo, in your 5th house, this is about transforming the way you have fun, the way you have, you know, pleasure in this lifetime. So for some of you, that could be, you know, embracing who you are, even if it seems like something other people won't like. Some people will like it. Some people will understand it. Some people will get it. Some people will get you. It kind of reminds me of the Pink song, Effing Perfect. She is a Virgo. Maybe you should listen to that song, or Don't Let Me Get Me. But I really feel like for a lot of you with the Chariot, once you step into your power, it's all systems go, where you just know that you can do this. And one of the spiritual signs that might come up for you are cats. You might have a cat that is a great source of comfort to you. You might see a lot of cats whenever something good is going to happen. Some of you in the next few months could also be getting a new car. or you could be changing homes, or you could be reconnecting with your family if things have not been good with the happy family card. So I'm going to start clarifying these for you, Virgo. Things are really going to improve in terms of your home and family life, or people you regard as family, and you might see rainbows whenever things are about to calm down if they've felt kind of fraught. With the Three of Swords, I really do feel like some of you are having very unhappy thoughts or unhelpful thoughts. Maybe you feel like nothing's going well. Maybe you feel like you can't possibly feel any better. And the cards are really saying focus on self-care, focus on self-growth, looking after yourself, and also working with your inner child. There is a video on YouTube where this lady, I can't remember, I think it's something like, it's a Reiki channel. It's this lady. She's blonde hair and brown eyes, but she does Reiki healing for the inner child. And basically everybody, even if you come from a happy family, everybody will have a memory as a child that's hurtful. Maybe it happened in school or something like this, and it can lodge trapped in your body. And she does this Reiki session for healing the inner child. Some of you might really benefit from that because you might be storing pain in your heart. Also, you might find that doing things you love to do as a child will make you feel higher. It will help you raise your vibration, and it will help you feel lovable, and it will give you this feeling of love. Because one of the things for you, Virgo, is that I do feel for a lot of you that you've been doing some work on feeling lovable, or you're going to start doing work on feeling lovable or artistic. Because with the Princess of Cups and the Knight of Cups, some of you could be finding that there is a love interest on the horizon who is very emotionally mature, someone who is emotionally sensitive, someone who is comfortable being romantic, someone who is comfortable being affectionate, someone who is comfortable being open. And that might be weird for some of you if you're single. That might be weird for some of you, and you might want to reject them because you could have been going for very cold people. Or it could be in a current relationship that, because of how you've been feeling, and this can be your family, this can be your friends, some people are feeling a bit shut out by you at the moment, Virgo, is one way that I'm seeing this. Either your friends feel kind of shut out from you. They want you to call. They want you to feel they want to feel appreciated by you or seen by you, and you might be shutting people out, maybe because you're working on your own thing, maybe because you're genuinely really busy, but they really want you to see them. And in particular, Virgo, I think there's somebody who likes you that really wants to be seen by you. It kind of reminds me of in The Simpsons when Lisa liked Nelson, but Milhouse really liked Lisa. Nelson was the bad boy and Milhouse was a good guy, but Milhouse had to deliver Lisa's handwritten note to Nelson saying, "Guess who likes you?" And then basically Milhouse ended up in an ambulance. It's a really funny scene. It wouldn't be funny in real life, but it's a funny scene in The Simpsons. But it reminds me of that "why don't you see me?" So for some of you, I feel like there's someone who really likes you that you don't see, or maybe you're just genuinely not interested in, but I do feel like there's someone who has a crush on you. I want to bet it's a water sign, very likely a Cancer. Sun, moon, or rising, or someone who's just very sensitive, or maybe has quite a rounded face. But you might not be seeing this person either because you're focused on work or you're focused on healing. So I do feel like for some of you, you're maybe so caught up in your thoughts or your feelings that you don't see this person and they really want to get through to you. With the Four of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles, please don't deny yourself, Virgo, things that make you feel magical. Your talents are your talents, and they are your talents, and that is it. You have talents in some area that you whether other people get them just now, or whether they see them right now, or whether you have the platform right now, you have talents, and if you love them, keep doing them. Make time for them. Make time for your friends as well. Make time to be social, and make time for your family. There's a lot of people who want to see you, Virgo, but I feel like you're maybe just going through something at the moment that is where you need to feel more empowered or take back your power in some form. Especially for you, it's either romantic or creative is the way that I'm seeing this. It's either your art, if you're in an artistic profession, maybe you're feeling really blocked, like nothing's moving for you, or you're not being seen or acknowledged. Maybe you're also feeling your romances have been very unhealthy and you're wondering, when am I going to get something new? Or maybe you're just feeling like, I have all these talents and I'm not getting where I want to go. Your ruler Mercury is going to go retrograde in your second house, and the main thing it wants you to do, Virgo, is embrace self-worth. Even if it feels alien AF, just congratulate yourself, compliment yourself. This Mercury retrograde for you is actually really expansive because it's going to trine Jupiter in Aquarius, which is your 6th house, which is health, well-being and work. And I think for a lot of you, you could be taking on more independent work or projects that brings you more money. Because Mercury rules your 1st house, you have to realize how you see yourself. And if this definition matches up how you see yourself now with who you want to be, and if it doesn't match up, start seeing yourself as how you want to be. Because nobody can save you for you, and you can't save anybody else either, even though you're a service sign. So the main thing stepping up for you, Virgo, is stepping into your power, being the magician, doing things that make you feel talented, that you're good at. And even if you're your own worst critic, keep doing them because you love them. And also, there is someone who really likes you that I feel actually is very emotionally healthy. And this could also be the love of a sibling or the love of a family member or a friend who really wants to reach out to you. But whatever's going on with you at the moment, they maybe don't feel like they'll be well received. So maybe you should reach out to them. Just a thought. So that is what I have for you, Virgo. It seems to be that there is going to be, with this Mercury retrograde, a turnaround for you. And also with Venus going retrograde at the end of the year into the winter, you're going to have to lay rest to some ghosts about your creativity, what makes you happy, what makes you feel loved. I do feel like you maybe have some ghosts in your subconscious about being lovable that I see you really getting to grips with and stepping into your power and overcoming 7 of Wands and the 3 of Cups, and you're going to be able to celebrate your perseverance and your strength by the end of the year with people who really appreciate, love and respect you, and may also want to acknowledge you in some way, shape or form. So that's what I have for you, Virgo, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your September tarot / autumn fall predictions. So Libra, we have a Mercury retrograde coming up in your sign at the end of September. I believe Mercury goes retrograde on the 27th. But you might feel the effects of that 2 weeks prior, and yeah, you could be feeling this for a little while. But what I want to say for you is that that's going to be actually quite a lucky period for you, especially if you've been feeling indecisive, because Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter in Aquarius 3 times. Now, usually when Mercury trines Jupiter, it happens once, and it's a really short spell of good luck and good fortune if one of them's in your sign, but it's happening 3 times because of the retrograde. So one of the things that's coming to you that is incredibly clear is that you will not miss what is meant for you. What is for you will not go past you. If there's been an opportunity that you think, oh, I wish I'd really taken that, or, you know, there was something that you really wanted to do, but it wasn't the right time, or there's something that you'd like to do that you're hopeful will come around again or will come up for the first time. Yes, they will. There's opportunities on the horizon for you, my dear Libra, because we have the 2 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands, meaning that if you've been confused about something back and forth, you know how you love to weigh up your options, you love to think things through. I'm actually a Libra in sidereal, and I have found that Libra really is a sign that isn't necessarily indecisive. You just like to think things through and look at all angles, because your regrets in life usually stem from making an impulsive decision. You know, Aries is your opposite sign. So what is coming up for you, Libra, is clarity about direction, clarity about opportunities, things maybe coming back around again that are advantageous to you, especially if they are, you know, something that's going to make you happy, because it's going to be trining Jupiter in your 5th house of love and romance. It's going to be something that makes you happy. Some of you might have to make a very significant decision linked to a professional route, linked to career, or linked to money. Maybe even linked to location and travel opportunities. But you will make the right decision, Libra, because what is meant to be will be. And as much as we like to think we have control over everything, we really don't. So if you've been a little bit on the fence about something and you suddenly know what it is that you want to do, or you have regrets about a certain decision that you didn't make, it will probably come back around again, is what I'm seeing for you, Libra. Especially if you've been trying to choose, personal style, or do you really want to do things that are true to you because you know now that they will really make you happy. So that is one thing that we have with you, Libra. Also, as I'm doing this, for the first part of September, Venus is home in your sign. You're looking beautiful, you're looking fabulous, you're looking flawless, you're attracting everything that you want to attract. So it might be that having too many options or opportunities could be what is making you confused or back and forth on something. Although I don't know that it's confusion, to be honest. I think it's just consideration rather than confusion. Because one thing that is coming up for you, Libra, that is very certain with your cards, is a golden opportunity. We have the golden opportunity card, Yumanya. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. So I love this card because we have dolphins in it, and dolphins in terms of spirituality represent fun, they represent excitement and good times. So with the dolphin card coming up here, a lot of you could be seeing dolphin imagery. Maybe you could be doing something that is marine based. But I do think for a lot of you, you're going to have a significant opportunity on the horizon here. There's something coming in for you. It's sort of the ships are coming in feeling, because I don't know if you know the Three of Wands in the Rider-Waite deck, but it's these ships coming in. It even makes me think that some of you might have a significant golden opportunity coming around the festive period as well, Libra, because it reminds me of that Christmas song, Three Ships. I saw 3 ships come sailing in. So that could be a particular time for you, Libra. Also, golden jewelry and gold is going to attract you a lot of luck in the next few months. But there does seem to be a golden opportunity coming for you. There's something that is on the horizon that's going to be very exciting. And I do think some of you might have thought you missed it. I do think some of you might have thought you were overlooked or forgotten about, or that it wasn't meant to be. Or it might be that you just didn't have what you needed at the time to do it. Or it might be that you hadn't met the right people for this or the right person for this. But things seem to be lining up because we also have the Sun card. So we'll be going into your season shortly. And your season is marked with its regular tension with Pluto. And it also has the tones of Venus and Scorpio attaching on to that Uranus-Saturn square. So there's a bit of tension in your season, but there's also a lot of abundance because we're going to be getting connections to Jupiter. As I say, Mercury is going to connect to Jupiter 3 times, which means you get extra pings from the universe in terms of luck, in terms of manifestation and good feeling. Also, we're going to be having connections with Saturn. So I don't know if you have felt this, but Venus going through your sign connected with Saturn, which means that there might be some kind of delayed reward. When Saturn's going through Aquarius, as it has been doing since last year, when Saturn goes through Aquarius, it means that for a lot of people, your manifestations and your goals and your hopes for the future are kind of delayed. You know, we have seen that. We have seen people have to put plans on pause, reschedule plans, and in a lot of cases, I think people find that frustrating. In some cases, I think folk realize that, you know, this gave me more time to think, more time to plan, more time to get serious, because Saturn wants you to be serious. So there could be something that is a delayed manifestation coming around for you. And the reason it's coming around for you and going to work, Libra, is because you've had to get serious through the delays. Maybe that's by working harder or being more sensible or thinking a little bit harder about what this could mean or what you want it to mean. So with the golden opportunity in the Sun, a lot of you are going to attract luck through yellow or gold, and you might be wearing these colors more or drawn to these colors more. That is something that is coming up for you, Libra. So let's do some clarifying cards. 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. Wow! You can't start a fire without a spark. Ace of Wands. I love this. New beginnings, new excitement beginnings. There's definitely a new opportunity coming up for you, Libra, in the fall time. I also see this as birthday candles, so it could be something around your birthday. It could be blowing out candles, making a birthday wish, and it comes true. But there's definitely a new beginning. There's a new spark. There is a new project, a new relationship, a new connection, a new opportunity. With the Four of Pentacles, I have to say there's something about this that's quite... that you've had to hold on for this. I think you've had to be serious about it, hold on for it. Yes, it's very serious. There's the Hierophant. It's something that you have thought a lot about, put a lot of thought into. For some of you, you have really got, you know, especially with last year, but I think a lot of you have been getting to grips with laying really solid foundations for yourself, Libra, and this is because of Pluto going through Capricorn. Your foundations have had the opportunity to be broken apart and rebuilt and made rock solid, and I think for a lot of you, you're realizing how much steadier you have become. Now, for some of you, I have to say, I think there might be an opportunity to do something you're passionate about, but financially it's maybe not as, you know, say you really want to do a different type of work, but it's not as much pay as what you're doing now. You maybe have to make your mind up on that. It could also be that you're having some sort of religious questioning going on here, Libra. You know, with the North Node in Gemini, a lot of you have been figuring out what you truly believe in, what you truly long for, or you truly aspire to. And I think for some of you, you've really been deciding what faith means to you. And for some of you, that might actually have been disappointing to somebody in your life. Maybe you were brought up Catholic, but you have since become you know, a different kind of spiritual that maybe upsets your family, or maybe your family don't get it, or it's caused some tension or some, you know, maybe not even tension, maybe just unusual conversations. I do feel for a lot of you with the Three of Swords, the Strength card, and the Queen of Pentacles, some of you are attaching your worth and also your romantic decisions. Some of you are attaching too much importance to status and profession. That is something that I'm sort of seeing here. You might be picking people because they have a lot of money, or you might be picking people because you think it would impress your friends, but you don't, you know, they're maybe not good fits for you intellectually or emotionally or anything like that. And it's saying to you, you know, pick partners that you can depend on, you know, you can lean on. I think for a lot of you, you're realizing that you really want some more, you know, you want something steady in your life. And sometimes when people are going through life and they're, you know, making decisions, sometimes it is based on wanting the quickest result, and then things can fall apart quicker. And I think for a lot of you, you want something really steady. I sense that that is in terms of career and love. If with that Three of Swords and the Strength card, maybe you're really having to be, and this is what I'm sort of getting for you mostly, Libra, I feel like you're having to be a source of strength to somebody in your life. And I feel like you're having to look after them in some capacity, or they're leaning on you a lot. It could be a female in particular. It could be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Leo that you're really having to be there for. You're really having to support, or maybe you feel like this person is, you know, for some reason it doesn't feel balanced. It feels like there's something going on in their life or your life that is creating maybe a disconnect, or maybe it's just making you feel a little bit disconnected. It looks like there's going to be a balancing there with the Temperance card. It looks like you're going to be balancing out this connection. There's maybe going to be restored harmony. There's maybe going to be some healing where it's not one person having to be there all the time for the other. This could be friendships, it could be family. I think for a lot of you it could be relationships, where you're really having to be a strong source of support to the other person because they seem to be going through something that is very difficult, and you're having to really take care of that person. And especially if it's an earth sign, there seems to be a turning point where things get better. or there's some kind of clearing here with Judgment. And also if there's been a lot of miscommunication, this is going to get a lot more clear. There's going to be clarity with that. If you've been dealing with petty arguments with somebody, there's going to be a lot of clarity. And there's going to be maybe having to bring certain things up again so that you can get to the bottom of it. Maybe having to hash things out. But with the Judgment card and the Ten of Cups, there's going to be a moment, Libra, it seems, where you really understand why something painful had to happen. And I don't know if it's because you had your heart broken, or you didn't get a job, or you lost a job, or there was some degree of loss, or maybe your partner is going through something quite hard. But what I am seeing for a lot of you is that there's almost like this darkest before the dawn moment where you're maybe feeling really not engaged with planning for the future. You're maybe feeling really down about something, and then there's this clarity and this happiness. And I see that with the Ten of Cups, Judgment, and the Golden Opportunity, and the Sun. There's kind of this, the sun will come out tomorrow. So maybe for some of you there have been really dark times with yourself or with somebody in your life, and there's going to be clarity, there's going to be an understanding, and there's going to be for sure a golden opportunity, because even Judgment and the Ten of Cups, this is like happiness offered to you really suddenly or out of nowhere. And I'm also feeling for you, Libra, that potentially around the eclipse in November there could be something really extraordinary happens for you that might be very prosperous, but it might also give you a level of emotional satisfaction you mightn't have had in a long time. So that is what I have for you, Libra, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your tarot predictions for September and autumn fall time. So Scorpio, Venus is going to move into your sign in the middle of September. And when Venus is in your sign, it is going to link with the Uranus-Saturn square, but it is going to bring you a lot of it's going to bring out the best version of yourself in many ways. And it's also going to further expose anything that needs to be smoothed over in terms of family situations or your partner's life. One of the things that I am seeing for you, Scorpio, is that you're going to have some kind of moving forward calmly. With the Six of Swords, if there has been tension, if there has been discord, or there have been, the way that I see this because of the peacock here, if there have been feathers ruffled or pride being hurt, there's going to be a moving forward. Now Scorpio is one of the ego signs. It's one of the fixed signs that goes into the ego, and ego is quite simply, I think, a fear of being hurt. And a lot of you are going to find that the more compassionate you are to yourself, the more compassionate others around you are going to be, because we have the Kuan Yin compassion card. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. One of the blessings that seems to be coming to you, Scorpio, is harmony. Now that might mean not a lot to you right now, it might mean a lot to you right now, but there seems to be this harmonious energy where maybe something that ordinarily was quite fraught or was quite difficult is suddenly much smoother. And the reason it's going to be much smoother is because you're going to be healing something within yourself, because you've actually been, Scorpio, whether this is subconscious, whether you're aware of this or not, I think a lot of you have been very judgmental on yourself. Now, sometimes when we're very judgmental on ourselves, this can actually manifest as being judgmental or critical of other people. That kind of comes up in Virgo season a lot, where we think that we're being constructive when we're judgmental or even cruel to ourselves. We think we're being constructive. We think we're going to improve. But studies actually show that giving yourself the type of criticism that is cruel, if you're giving yourself the type of criticism that you wouldn't voice to a friend or a family member, then you shouldn't be voicing it to yourself. And studies show that criticizing yourself is not actually, it doesn't actually make you more productive. It might be misinterpreted that in schools and things, when you have that teacher you're really scared of, you work harder. but you're not going to flourish. You know, you'll burn out in that case. So this is about having a better relationship with yourself and noticing that if you're judging others, you're probably just as judgmental to yourself. So watch out for that. One of the things you're going to be doing is releasing judgment about yourself and others. And I do think for a lot of you, there may be some kind of guilt or shame about the way that you've been feeling or something you've done that you need to release in order for things to improve in your life in some way or shape or form. There's something, I think, maybe for you, Scorpio, about yourself that you don't like, or you don't like the way something went or something like that, and you're having to release it. You're having to let go of it. And when you do, there's going to be a victory. So one of the big things that's coming to you, Scorpio, is a victory. So with the Six of Swords and the Victory card and the Nine of Pentacles, you're finally getting a breakthrough on something. You're moving past something, whether it was a decision, whether it was a dispute, whether it was something that merely dented your confidence. Maybe it was an issue with yourself. The more compassionate you are to yourself, the more victorious you're gonna be. And Scorpios, when it comes to their business or when it comes to their their pride, they can be very ruthless, but it's only being protective. That's why Scorpio has the stinger. It's a protective thing, but you don't realize, Scorpio, that you're more likely to use your stinger on yourself than anybody else. So there is this sense of having compassion with the Nine of Pentacles, being proud of who you are, how far you've come, and knowing that you cannot get through life without regrets. You know, that's what makes you human. Maybe you regret something or the way it went or what you did or anything like this. You cannot just proceed through life without having those moments of regret. And those moments of regret can actually, soften you. They can make you more vulnerable, more open, and more compassionate to others, and compassionate to yourself. That's why a lot of people that went through heartbreak or traumas become therapists, or they want to become nurses, or they want to heal people, basically. So allow yourself to be more compassionate to you, and that is what is going to bring you a victory that you really, really want. And with the Six of Swords, it feels like the kind of victory that's not lonely. It's the kind of victory that you're celebrating with somebody else, maybe a partner in particular, but moving into a new phase and feeling like this, sense of, I've really accomplished something here, I've really overcome something here, and I feel really proud of myself with what I've done. Even if there was a lot of confusion before, a lack of clarity before, one of the things I'm seeing for a lot of you is coming out of the woods or coming out of the fog in some area of life where you feel like you've been aimlessly wandering, or you've been feeling a bit lost. But not all those who wander are lost. And I feel like a lot of you were actually going through something you really needed to go through in order to leave some kind of legacy for yourself, or in order to figure out what's going to make you the most content materially, but also in terms of security. Jupiter and Saturn both being in your sign, Jupiter is going to be in Aquarius until the end of the year, the very end of December. And at that point, Jupiter will leave you with some kind of gift surrounding home, family matters, or emotional security. So for a lot of you, with Jupiter going retrograde and then going direct in October, you're going to be experiencing a lot of prosperity based on your decisions. I feel like a lot of you are making good decisions in the next few months in terms of your family, in terms of your money, and in terms of what will work better for you in the long run, that isn't based on ego. And one thing I also see for a lot of you, Scorpio, is that you seem to be offered some kind of job, some kind of service. Maybe you're being offered help. Maybe you're being offered money. One of the things that's coming up for you, Scorpio, is that you're going to meet someone who really helps you, probably when you need it. So maybe this is that you really need to be accepted for a course, or you really want financial backing for something, or you really want a loan for something, or you really want a job or something like that. I see you being given an opportunity, being given support. It's something very material, it's something very financial, and it could be something that really helps you with your money. And with the Victory card, I think for a lot of you, this could be a really solid bonus. It could be a promotion, it could be recognition, it could be more views, it could be more assistance, it could just be being in the spotlight. And also for some of you, recognition for something you've done in terms of charity with the compassion card here. Charitable endeavors may be something you're really throwing yourself into, Scorpio. And the more compassionate you are to yourself and the more you open your heart to others, ironically, the better your material life is going to be, or your sense of security in your home and your family. So this is an interesting spread for Scorpio, I have to say, but I see your confidence improving, but not in a way that feels loud, in a way that feels quiet. You know, confidence is quiet. It's like you feel accomplished, you feel proud of yourself, and you feel proud of what it is that you have done, Scorpio. Especially in terms of your work and your endeavors. If you're studying, if you're planning to get somewhere with your education or your job life, the things that you're working on, Scorpio, you're really having to acknowledge first and foremost your own talents and how you can use these where you are, because some of you are going to be becoming experts in a particular field with the King of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, and the Magician. You're going to be recognized for your work. Some of you are going to be creating something really spectacular. Some of you are going to be seeing amazing results based on what you've studied, what you've worked towards, what you've gained experience in. And you're going to be really well received. And also some of you are achieving great manifestation here with the Magician and the Eight of Pentacles and the King of Cups. A lot of you are going to be seen as experts, seen as knowledgeable, seen as wonderful at what you do. And it's cool as well, because I think some of you have maybe been feeling, especially with the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, maybe some of you, if you've started a new job or you're starting a new job, you could be feeling a bit out of your depth. I don't think Scorpios like being beginners, because it's a vulnerable place to be. Scorpios don't like making mistakes. They don't like asking for help. They don't like asking for training. They like to know what they're doing, and they like to do it well. And I don't think the beginning stage is comfortable for Scorpios. And I feel like a lot of you are maybe going to be in a new phase of some kind. And it's really going to be a moment where you have to be compassionate with yourself that these things take time. And the people that you look up to as experts were once beginners as well. So I am seeing that you're going to be manifesting something, Scorpio. I'm also seeing that the work you've done on yourself internally, because with the King of Cups and the Seven of Cups, I think for a lot of you, you've had some emotional wounds come up. Some vulnerabilities, maybe some weird, really weird dreams with the Seven of Cups about the past. It could be that some of you have been having really strong nightmares or things that have disturbed your sleep in some way. And these have been a clearing so that you can lay solid foundations for yourself, because your subconscious is impacting you all the time. And you're beginning a new phase in your career that might even be a new phase if you're not changing jobs. Like if you're going to continue what you're doing, you're still beginning a new phase. You're beginning a new way of working, really slow and solid and grounded without too much ego, which I really like to see, without too much ego. And also some of you, I have to say, you could have a friend or someone you work with who's really going through a very hard time, Scorpio, that you may need to rally around a little bit. With the Empress, they might be suffering a lack of confidence. They might be not feeling the best about their relationships or their beauty or the way they parent or something like this. But you might have to be there for somebody who is struggling with, especially if it's a female, struggling with the way that they see themselves. But I also see, Scorpio, that you're going to come full circle with a particular self-worth issue, especially in terms of being part of a team, being a friend, being in a relationship, being acknowledged. you're going to come full circle with that issue and end up more confident than you were before. That is something that's coming up for you as well, Scorpio. Let's see if I have anything else. See if I have anything else for Scorpio. Especially in terms of the victory card, Hierophant. So with Uranus in Taurus, a lot of you are going to be solidifying your relationships, making sure you're on the same page. Some of you could be having a trip that's quite spiritual coming up, or you could be having some kind of psychic downloads or spiritual downloads, especially around Halloween. Some of you might have the opportunity to travel for work, and some of you might hear from someone that you used to know. Somebody that you used to know. Could be a Taurus. Let me see. You're definitely hearing from somebody from the past. Could be someone you were in a relationship with. Could be a Gemini. Could be a Taurus. But with the Six of Cups and the Lovers and the Eight of Wands and the Hierophant card, some of you could also be moving in with a partner, planning a home situation with a partner. Maybe you could be planning to travel with a partner. The Ace of Wands. And if you're looking for love, look close to home. Something I'm seeing for you. Someone in your neighborhood, someone you used to know. Because there seems to be a spark there, maybe with an old flame or someone you went to school with or college with or something like this. But for a lot of you, I do feel like you could be hearing from people you used to know, that you were maybe in, this is so weird, institutions with. Maybe you went to the same church. Is a church an institution? I think it is. You went to the same church, you went to the same school or something like this. With the Eight of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Lovers and the Ace of Wands, if you are in a relationship, you will be renewing the spark. So Venus is going into your sign. Some of you could be talking about the future together, the type of kids you want to have. I don't think you have much control over that. Your family future. You could be talking about having children, what your future relationship looks like. Also with the Lovers card and the Ace of Wands, your love life is really going to be spiced up a lot, Scorpio. A lot, Scorpio. So that is exciting for you. So I gave you a little bit longer than most of the signs because you're the #1 viewers of this channel. So I hope you have a beautiful autumn, Scorpio, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your tarot predictions for September and the rest of fall, autumn. So Sagittarius, one of the things that's coming up for you very strongly is that you're likely getting very strong messages in your dream state. A lot of you could be having very unusual dreams. You could be receiving signs. You could be seeing repeating numbers, maybe 222 or 333 in particular. You could be seeing a lot of the same animal symbolism. You could be seeing a lot of butterflies. You could be seeing a lot of dolphins. You could be seeing a lot of cats, something like this. And you're really feeling a little bit like the universe is trying to give you a sign, and it is trying to give you a sign. So one of the ways that the universe is giving you a sign is through your dreams and the strange and unusual imagery you may be seeing. And this is particularly true from mid-September onwards because Venus will be in your 12th house. When Venus goes through your 12th house, you can see the beauty in the mystical. You can see the beauty in the subconscious. You can see the behind the scenes in art. You can see the vision that the artist is trying to portray. You can see the subtext of a book better, movies better, and you can really find yourself getting lost in a beautiful way in this dream state where you really are tapping into the other realm. You know, the other realm is what can be felt and understood but not necessarily seen directly. It's the mystic behind the thing. And you're really tapping into that world. So it's a beautiful time to be an artist or a mystic or just experience something different. I also feel a lot of you, even if you're not wildly into Halloween or anything like that, some of you could actually be celebrating it this year in a bigger way. And some of you could also be you know, having this really clear download for the universe that some kind of cycle is coming to an end, and it's in a good way. So it's not an ending that you should be afraid of. You're having this feeling that maybe a run of bad luck is ending, or a run of a particular chapter that hasn't been good for you emotionally is maybe coming to an end, and you're starting to see this sense of, you know, you're seeing signs from the universe that this is the way it's going to be, that some particular chapter of your life is ending. And I feel like it's in a good way, because we have the Irene card, peace, and the world here. There is no need to worry, as everything is working out beautifully. So she's got her baby there, and she's got her fruit and vegetables. So some of you could be eating better, or paying more attention to eating fruit and vegetables, and tending to your own crops, as it were, you know, really focusing on you. And for some of you, that could involve, maybe with Venus going through Scorpio, it could actually involve for some of you that you're pulling back a little bit and focusing on your own world, you know, focusing on what makes you happy, what makes you feel safe and peaceful. And a lot of you are going to really find that you're not taking the bait if someone is trying to invoke confrontation. You just want to be peaceful, you want to be centered. For some of you, you want to spend more time with your children, you want to spend more time in nature. Some of you could feel particularly happy by the sea or swimming, because there's a lot of water energy here with the colors. You might find that you want to swim more, or you might want to be out in nature. Another thing that I'm seeing for a lot of you is that you could actually be getting signs from somebody who's passed over, because the High Priestess is typically, you know, she's the gateway of the other world. She has visions, she has a way of communicating with the different realms. And with the World card, the ending of a chapter, some of you could be receiving some sort of messages or signs surrounding a female, maybe someone who is a spirit guide of yours, or someone who is an ancestor of yours. But I do feel like a lot of you could be getting messages from them in some capacity. There's a lot of female solidarity going on in your cards, because we even have the woman holding a coin. So for a lot of you in business as well, Sagittarius, this rules recognition. We had a lot of, you know, we're in Virgo season, and there's going to be a new moon coming up on the 6th of September. It might be the 7th, depending on where you are, but there's a new moon coming up that marks a new start for you in terms of your career. And one of the things I'm seeing for you is that you're going to be really appreciated with whatever work that you do. So people might be talking about your business more. You might be attracting more clients. You might be attracting employers. You might be attracting promotions or opportunities, or you might be getting some sort of recognition for a project that you have done. You'll also find a lot of luck, Sagittarius, with the color purple. The color purple might be significant for you. It might attract luck into your life. It might help you open up your third eye. You might also be more drawn to amethyst crystals or the occult, because some of you could have a really amazing experience with someone who is either a psychic or Reiki healer, a medium, or something like this. You could have a really profound experience with the World card and the High Priestess, and it could be one that really gives you a lot of emotional hope and security for the future. But let's get into clarifying your cards and see what else comes up for you, Sagittarius. Wow, the Nine of Cups just popped up. Your ruler, Jupiter, is going to go direct in your third house. And that means that there is going to be some kind of wish coming for you that I feel is very unexpected with the Nine of Cups and the Tower. This is quite a surprise to you. Now, it might be that you, with the new moon in Virgo, you might find in September in particular that if things were quiet, all of a sudden they get super busy. Or if you were, you know, you maybe forgot you were really hoping for something and then it suddenly comes out of the blue. I'm also seeing something of the elk, that with the Tower and the Seven of Swords, you might find something out that really surprises you. But with the Nine of Cups, I actually think a lot of you could find some kind of fortune in a surprise, like something might have been held from you. So for some of you, this could actually be a a surprise birthday party coming up for you. I hope I've not ruined anything if it is. Or it could be that you are going to be planning a surprise with somebody else. What I do think that is possible with the Tower and the Seven of Swords here is that somebody may have been keeping something from you. Or there could have been something secretive going on in the workplace or in terms of money, or there could be something that comes out, and it could come out with the full moon in Pisces or the full moon in Aries in October. There could be something comes up around that time. But I feel like if you have a surprise in Sagittarius, there will be people that really want to be in your corner, be in your side if something isn't quite going right with you. One thing that I would say for you is make sure that you're checking your bank statements to make sure that there's nothing going out to there's nothing going out that you're not, you are not aware of. Something to do with maybe payments to a company or to a website or a subscription that you're not aware of, that you thought maybe you weren't signed up for or you cancelled, something like that. So do check those. I also feel for a lot of you that you may have an exciting opportunity to do something new with a friend. This could, something new. This could be that, if you're starting a new job, you meet a really like-minded friend. You could also find that a friend that you have, you could be sharing something with a friend, be it a hobby or be it an adventure or something like this that really makes you feel rejuvenated, really makes you feel happy, really makes you feel supported, and really makes you feel excited about life. There's a lot of focusing on the people that make you feel joy and make you feel content coming up for you in the next few months. But I do feel with the Tower and the Seven of Swords, some of you might be struggling with or you might not have processed something that really shocked you in the past or came to a surprising end, and you might be finding, Sagittarius, with Venus going into Scorpio, that it is revealed to you that you're not over something. Sometimes with Venus going into the 12th house, you can find you have to process past romantic disappointments or friendship disappointments or money disappointments. Maybe you went through a period where you'd no money. Or maybe you went through a period where a marriage broke down. Or maybe you went through a period where someone wasn't speaking to you, or you weren't speaking to someone, and there's still a pain of it in your heart as much as you try to progress. With Venus going into Scorpio, you might become aware of it. And because Venus in Scorpio is going to square Saturn in Aquarius in your 3rd house, there may be an argument. There may be things hashed out, and you might realize that someone's not over something, or you're not over something. But this ends in support. This ends in you feeling stronger. This ends in you feeling, like you're heard, or like you've gotten something off your chest that needed to get off your chest, and it enables you to make more solid foundations for yourself, especially in terms of money. But also in terms of your relationships with your children, if you have them, or your relationships with your neighbours, or your family. I do think that there's going to be very shocking, surprising news comes out, Sagittarius, but I think it actually could be either something that you've not processed from before, or it could be to do with a friend. It could be to do with something going on with a friend. Or their life in some capacity that just really surprises you, takes you off guard maybe. When Venus and Uranus oppose, there's likely to be some sort of surprise for you. I'm also seeing for a lot of you, there is going to be an offer of some kind linked to a water sign. So maybe it's an offer of a new job, a new opportunity, recognition. Maybe they're going to help you get to the heart of the matter on something. There's a lot of truth with this person, and they can really help you see what you've not been seeing. If you need to see your talents, if you need to see what's great about yourself, I feel like there's a water sign that could really help you get clarity on that. Maybe a Scorpio. And for some of you, I also feel like Venus going into Scorpio is really going to help you let go of what you've been struggling with internally. So whether that's a subconscious block or whether that is a past pain, a lot of you are going to finally let go of it. And when you do, there might actually be an opportunity for romance with the Knight of Cups. He usually indicates romance if you're single. Or for some of you, it might be letting go of someone who's just not, they're in your past, but they're not right for you. Although, I have to say, Six of Cups can sometimes mean reconnecting with somebody from the past. Three of Wands. With Mercury going retrograde in Libra, a lot of people could be reconnecting or hearing from people in the past, but for some of you, this could just be making peace with somebody from the past, maybe an old friend, or someone you've not seen in a while, maybe reconnecting. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for September and the fall-autumn period. So Capricorn, you have a really interesting pairing here with the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles. For a lot of you, there are going to be very important people coming into focus for you for the next few months. For some of you, you could be finding that you're having to meet with a lot of professional people. For some of you, you're having to seek help from others or seek services from others. Or you could be interacting with people who are quite senior. You could also be interacting with people who are entrepreneurial, people who wear, nice watches, fancy suits, they smell good. And some of you could also be meeting with people who are more, maybe military or police. A lot of you could be, this could be your profession. You could be working with people in the police or in public service, or you could be connecting with people in banks, lawyers, very intellectual, successful people seem to be a big part of your next few months. So this could be people you're working with or you're engaging with in some capacity, Capricorn. These could be people that are coming into your orbit in a very significant way. They could be teaching you things. They could be people, maybe you're going into a relationship with somebody like this. Maybe you're meeting somebody like this that can help you. But with the Community card, a lot of you are going to be finding that the next few months for you, that the autumn fall period represents really strong social connections, networking, having the opportunity to meet the right people at the right time. When Venus goes into Scorpio in the middle of September, you have a run there. You have a run where you can meet the type of people you need that can help you progress your life, that can help you make your dreams come true, that can help you get to where you need to go. They want to assist you, they want to work with you, they want to give you advice, they want to give you expertise. You can learn from them, you can be an apprentice to them, or you can quite simply be you could be them, or you could be becoming them, but you're really going to be meeting the type of people you want to meet over the next couple months, Capricorn. People that can really help you achieve your dreams and your long-term goals and prospects, and also help you make more money or make you more financially secure. So with the Siege card, you also have to make sure that you're getting enough rest, that you're getting enough time alone, that you're getting enough time to meditate and contemplate and really feel out the energy of the people that you're going to be surrounded with. Capricorns are kind of, I have to say this, and I don't mean it to be offensive, the unlikely empath. People don't realize that Capricorns can be empaths. They don't realize that Capricorns can be really, really empathic. Because I find a lot of Capricorn friends I have are so empathic. Capricorn is my 11th house, so a lot of my friends are Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I just find them to be the most empathic people. And it's just not a sign that has that reputation. So a lot of you need to make sure that you're spending time with yourself, recharging, and also sussing out the people that you're interacting with. If something doesn't feel right, meditating on it and figuring it out. Or if something felt really good, leaning into that as well. So let's have some clarifying cards for you, Capricorn, over what this autumn period is bringing for you. Queen of Pentacles, wow, amazing. So with the Queen of Pentacles coming up in the same spread as the King of Pentacles, for a lot of you in relationships, there could be that you and your partner are doing some kind of business together or getting some kind of project off the ground together, investing in each other, investing in your relationship. Some of you could be in a real power dynamic, a real power couple. Especially if you're in the LGBT community, I have to say, because there's this really strong sense of these two kings, I feel like there's a really strong power couple dynamic here, like a really strong camaraderie, like getting each other and making stuff happen and being each other's, support system. And I do feel, especially if you're a male, you're really attracting strong male energy into your life that's really helpful. And if you're female as well, with the Queen of Pentacles here. But I feel like there's a really strong power dynamic for a lot of you in your life. Wow, Knight of Swords. Okay. Interesting. Now that is an interesting card to have come up, because the Knight of Swords is so quick. He's so fast moving. He's so, let's get this going. So it could be that a lot of you are learning not to rush something that really needs your full attention, learning not to rush into something, not to react, particularly in business, swiftly, to be very clear on your decisions, and also not to get too defensive if people say something, keep your integrity, make sure that you're not reacting from emotion. I do feel for a lot of you there could be an air sign in your life who maybe is quite defensive, could be a Libra, could be an Aquarius, could be a Gemini. They could be quite defensive about something, or they could be feeling kind of argumentative at some point. But if you're in a relationship with this person, they love you all the same. Sometimes people can be, we're all human, we all make mistakes. Sometimes people can say something harsh in the moment because they actually mean something else. They mean, oh, you're not, I'm worried you don't love me, or something like this. That's not to say if someone's gaslighting you or anything like that. I don't mean it like that. I mean, little petty squabbles or something like this. If you've been having arguments with a partner, it really will be okay with the Lovers card and the Sun here. For a lot of you, there looks to be really beautiful energies in love. And it's interesting because there's going to be a Venus retrograde in December. And I'll talk more about that at the time, but there will be a time for you with Venus retrograde in your sign for you to really heal your feelings about love and romance and beauty and money and all these different things, and how you see yourself in relationships. Because I think for some of you, Capricorn, you're not seeing how much you really bring to the table at the moment. And I don't know if it's an experience, but I feel like you're maybe suffering a little bit of insecurity about possibly your work or your body or your progress on something. But you're really going to start to see yourself through the eyes of another. I think how your friends see you, or how your partner sees you. And one of the things I'm sort of getting for this is maybe that a lot of you aren't seeing your beauty. And the reason for this is possibly because you're seeing yourself every day. And when you see something every day, you don't see it as special as it is. Familiarity breeds contempt. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're not seeing your beauty. You're not seeing how spectacular you are or how well you're doing, because you're always with you. And so with the quiet time card, meditating and really getting out of, your own way is going to be something that really benefits you, Capricorn. I also feel for a lot of you with the Five of Cups, if there's been a loss or a hurt about something, with the Page of Pentacles, baby steps, and the Hierophant. It's such a cliche, but it's that Rome wasn't built in a day thing. I feel like for some of you, you really want to be at a certain place. You really want to be, say at point C when you're at point A or something like this, or you might be comparing your journey to somewhere else's, or comparing your experience or your process with somebody else's. And I feel like for a lot of you, what is taking a long time for you is going to be really solid in the future because you took time. With the Knight of Swords, the more that you try and force things to happen on your own personal time frame, the more you're going to run into obstacles and exhaust your energy, because you can't control the timing of everything, Capricorn. Especially if you're, looking for love, or you're looking for success in whatever capacity it is. Yes, Page of Cups, or maybe for some of you it's about pregnancy, that kind of journey, or feeling like you need to be better at something by this point and you don't feel like you are. I do think it's more so because you can't see yourself clearly, but trust the timing of your life. Trust that some things are just better left to the divine in terms of timing, and that you shouldn't beat yourself up about where you are or how far you've come or how, you know, successful you are or how steady your career seems to be, or, you know, whatever it is. Don't beat yourself up about it, because you're going to have great success with it. The World card, you're going to be able to look back on this and say, I get it. I get this. It's going to make sense in hindsight, I think. For some of you, it's a delayed marriage. Maybe you've had to rearrange your wedding a few times or something like this. Or maybe you're just hoping to meet the right person. And these cards are saying you will absolutely meet the right person, and you'll also have the ideal wedding, or the ideal, you know, no marriage is perfect, but you'll have the ideal scenario play out for you here with the World card and the Page of Cups. And especially if it's that you're trying to have a baby, or you're trying to be recognized for your art, or you're trying to be seen by certain people. I do see for a lot of you that in your career and profession, you're going to be attracting the attention of really wonderful people. And at this point, the best qualities that you can show to those people are confidence and patience. So maybe that's also true in your love life. If you're meeting people, the best qualities you can show of yourself are your qualities of confidence and patience, or whatever process you're going through. Because maybe for some of you with the Five of Cups, maybe it's grief. Maybe you're trying to get over someone or something's really hurt you, and you're processing it, and you're thinking, why am I not past this yet? Because it takes time to do it properly. It takes time to do it properly, to really process something, because what you resist will persist. And that is something that is coming up for you, Capricorn, in terms of, you know, timing. Because with the World card and the Page of Cups, your timing is actually going to work out better than you expected. And things are going to work out in a way that you really have this, I'm glad it worked this way. For romantic relationships, if you're single, I do feel like you could meet somebody through a friend, or through a team, or through a party. For those of you that are in relationships, if there's been tension in terms of rushing things, take a step back and meditate on it, because there seems to be, for a lot of you with the Lovers and the Sun, a lot of love there. A lot of love there, even if there's been fighting, or there's maybe been bickering about something in terms of timing. The more that you lean into the idea of divine timing and things taking the time they need to take, or, you know, that you will be where you want to be in terms of having kids or marriage, or, you know, just meeting somebody, or also just moving somewhere or traveling somewhere, whatever it is that matters to you so much, Capricorn, it will be yours. So that is what I have for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Aquarius, welcome to your tarot predictions for the September fall autumn period. So Aquarius, the first thing that has come up to you is the importance of the number 4. So you might be seeing 444. The 4th of each month might be significant to you. You might be a life path 4. Your partner could be a life path 4. The number 4 may be some significance to you. Maybe Beyonce's album 4. I think she's an album called 4. I could be wrong. I just know that she actually turns 40 tomorrow on the 40th as I'm filming this. But it's something to do with the number 4 is coming up for you. So it could be actually that you're getting a home that's the number 4 as well, because we have the 4 of Wands here. For a lot of you, you're focusing on your foundations. With Jupiter and Saturn in your sign, you may have been experiencing a lot of awareness. There could be a lot of focus on your father or your relationship with your father. It could have been that you've had to focus on your father, or you've had to focus on a significant male relationship in your life, or your relationship with power, your relationship with authority, or maybe a husband or a previous husband, or social structures. These could have been things that have come to your attention, the idea of masculinity as well. For some of you, it could have been suffering from patriarchal standards. But what I'm really seeing for you, Aquarius, is that the crux of it is you're really figuring out what your foundations are, what it is that you want to build upon. Who do you want to be? With the Emperor, standing strong in your convictions, knowing what it is that you want, considering your next move carefully. For some of you, it could be that you've been rebuilding a relationship with your father. Rebuilding a relationship with a grandfather. It could have been that you've been, figuring out what it is that you want to leave behind in terms of your own family legacy as well. But what I'm seeing for you, Aquarius, is that there's going to be a lot of understanding on what makes you feel solid and secure in your life. And this could be a key Aries person or a Scorpio person. But I feel for a lot of you that there's so much emphasis on the father or father figure, or, reparenting yourself. If you've no relationship with a father, it's about reparenting yourself and giving yourself the encouragement, but also at times, the tough love with yourself, saying, look, you're really good at this, but you're not disciplined in it, let's do it. Instead of, oh, you can't do anything right, or you never finish what you started. It's about figuring out how you have that voice in your head. Maybe there's a really strong voice of disdain, an authoritative figure that says you can't do anything right, or you're so wacky, or you're so strange, or you're this, that, or whatever. These labels that are thrown to you from someone else who, for some reason or whatever at the time, they have a position of authority, or, maybe they are someone that you're financially tied to, or whatever it is that made you feel less than powerful. What I'm seeing for you, Aquarius, is that you're really getting to grips with that voice inside your head that says you're good enough. In fact, you're more than enough. You're great at this. You can have this. Say it is that you really want a home. You want a house. You want to be on the property ladder, or you want to, you want to work at a certain profession. You want to be something that seems out of reach, maybe because you're critical of yourself, but you're going to be achieving these things. You're really going to be giving yourself the encouragement to meet your goals and meet your achievements. The Emperor he's strong. You're going to be achieving your monetary gains. You're going to be achieving the success, the accomplishments that you want based on your wisdom. Because whatever it is that you've learned, Aquarius, it's helping you set up what it is that you want next. Your experience, your wisdom, what you have learned, you can use now. There's no point having regrets maybe over the profession you chose or the degree that you chose if you're not going to use that knowledge to the best of your advantage. You shouldn't write out any time period as pointless. There's something in your history, there's something in your past and your experience that is helping you. And another thing that I'm seeing for you is really being disciplined and level-headed, making strong decisions, being strategic as well, and being, embracing your own inner warriors, but being a warrior, not a worrier in your life. And, maybe even for some of you, stepping into a role of leadership. But what I'm seeing for you is that a lot of you, no matter what state you're at right now, Aquarius, a lot of you are going to be feeling really accomplished in the next few months. That's what you're building for yourself, is accomplishments, foundations. A lot of you as well, a lot of you are developing a really strong backbone, or you're realizing how strong your backbone actually is. And I know that Aquarius is known as, it can be regarded as a flighty sign, or it can be regarded as a, very free-spirited, hates to be locked down. But the more stability that you have, the more free that you are. So maybe some of you are realizing that, and you're seeing that building stability and, tending to your home, maybe making sure that your home looks good, and you're spending time with your family, and that you're appreciating your family, and you're staying grounded. A lot of you are going to realize that that's bringing you success. So maybe for some of you, this is about spending more time with your family and really focusing on getting grounded, putting your feet on the earth, staying in your body, not letting all the third eye and crown chakra stuff be overworked to the point that you're not grounded and you're feeling really lost and scattered and confused, Aquarius. Because for a lot of you, you're going to be focusing on getting your finances in order. We have the financial constraints card. And this happens when you're not grounded. So for a lot of you, you're going to be focusing on staying centered, staying grounded, embracing your connections with your family, embracing your home life, making sure that things are clean. A lot of you are going to be practicing as well feng shui. Making sure that the energy in your house is good, maybe decluttering some things, maybe spring cleaning or changing your bedding or painting your walls, or just something that shifts the energy. And for a lot of you, it can unlock issues with finances, and it can help remove blockages to your money and your stability. For some of you as well, you're going to be expressing yourself more through artistic endeavors. Now, I love this for you, Aquarius, because the true node is going through Gemini, meaning that you're going to be focusing on creative endeavors. You're going to be focusing on, expressing yourself, what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. And for some of you, your spiritual messenger might actually be a swan or a water lily. Those can be spiritual signs for you. They can be something that shows you guidance. It can be guidance that you're on the right path. It can be a sign that you need to step into your most artistic self. If you want to learn an instrument, if you want to learn a new hobby, a lot of you are going to be having the discipline and the structure to stick with it. So we also have the Lovers card. So for a lot of you, the Lovers card could represent a new relationship coming into your life through a hobby. It could be that you meet somebody through studying, especially if you're at school or university. You could meet someone through studying. It could also mean that you meet someone at an art class. Or it could just mean that you're tending to your relationship and making sure that you've solid foundations and that the relationship is equal. If you're attracting love in the next 2 months, it's likely to be someone who is a giver. Someone who gives you a lot of attention, someone who's very solid and secure. Could be an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, Aquarius. It could be that you're attracting someone who's really giving. I'm also seeing for a lot of you, if you're in a relationship, you guys are taking up common interests together or hobbies together or working on a project together, maybe physically creating something, maybe renovating, maybe something like that. But for a lot of you as well, not romantically speaking, you could be receiving a loan. Now, I'm trying to think what this is astrologically, because that would be the 8th house for you. And that would be Virgo season, which is what we're currently in. And there is a new moon coming up in Virgo on the 6th of September. So I'm just thinking, Aquarius, you could be coming into some money. If you're feeling worried about money, that is a wonderful new moon to set the intentions for what you want, especially if you're looking for some kind of financial backing. I actually think a lot of you are manifesting material success, solid foundations, and maybe also money for a home. I don't know if it's that you want to get on the property ladder or purchase something, Aquarius, but you could be manifesting money for education or a loan, maybe a grant of some kind, a lump sum of money from somebody who knows what they're talking about financially, with the King of Pentacles here. So for a lot of you, you seem to be manifesting success, but some of you could also be manifesting an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, particularly a Virgo, which is interesting. That is interesting. Let's do another card, Aquarius, and see what else comes up for you in terms of what it is that you're manifesting with the Magician card. Because a lot of you, I think, have this paradigm about yourself that you're not good financially, and you're changing that. You might be reading that book by Jen Sincero that is You're a Badass at Making Money, and going from living in a basement to suddenly having a mortgage or something like that. You're really figuring out your financial life. With the Six of Cups and the Magician as well, Mercury is going into Libra. It's going to retrograde in Libra. For a lot of people, that Six of Cups keeps coming up at the end to remind you that there's going to be reconnection. For you, with it being in Libra, you might be reconnecting with someone that you studied with. You might also be reconnecting with somebody from a different country, or you could be meeting somebody from a different country. You could be reconnecting with someone from a church setting, or you could be reconnecting someone with a very different culture to you, if that makes any sense. Or you could be revisiting something you were learning or picking up something you were studying before that may have been dropped, and it could be artistic. So that is what I have for you, Aquarius, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hi Pisces, welcome to your tarot predictions. So Pisces, I have to say there's a strong focus here on love because we have the Two of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and Justice. For some of you, this could be tying the knot. Two of Cups and Justice in the same spread can indicate marriage, it can indicate engagements, it can indicate signing contracts with somebody. So this could be romantically. Fate could have a contract lined up for you, maybe a marriage certificate. It could be that you're going to be getting a home with somebody, signing on the dotted line, and this is part of your destiny. This is something that is part of your destiny with the Wheel of Fortune in the middle, and it's something that's going to be very fortunate for you. Another thing that this could be is that it could be that you are going to be doing a contract with somebody in business. It could be that you are signing a legal contract with a new employer, a business partner, something like that. With Venus having trined Saturn, Venus being in your 8th house, trining Saturn in your 12th, it could be that you've attracted people from out of, from behind the scenes that really are going to help invest in you, invest in your career, invest in your future. And I'm also seeing that Mercury, having ruled, your relationships, going retrograde in Libra, your 8th house of intimacy, and finances associated with other people, trining Jupiter, your traditional ruler, 3 times, there's going to be a lot of luck coming to you in terms of your relationships, romantic, business, both. They're going to be very, very lucky and very, very fortunate and part of your destiny. So if you're single and looking, you could meet the right person. This is a wonderful time to meet the right one. You could meet the person you're going to marry. For those of you in long-term relationships, you could be talking about marriage, you could be getting married, you could be going to the next stage in a relationship, and that doesn't have to be marriage. I run the risk of not being imaginative if I try to come up with too many things that it could be, but with Justice, it's about balance, it's about commitment, and likely some kind of legality. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's destiny. So this could be with people who have maybe significant fixed energy in their chart, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus or Aquarius in their chart, or Libra, but it doesn't have to be. It just looks for a lot of you, like in particular, there's going to be a strong sense of destiny and fortune regarding your legal contracts and your relationships. And it might actually be with Mercury retrograde in Libra that you get a second chance at a contract that you really wanted or an opportunity that you really wanted. For some of you, I have to say, this could be adoption, or this could be a career with children, because we have the Guiding Children card. You're good at helping, counselling and healing children. You use your skills to help children now. It could also be an omen that some of you are having children. One of the spiritual signs for you with this card here would be fairies. It could be butterflies as well because of her butterfly wings. They could be signs for you, because Pisces, I think, are naturally fairy children, really, aren't they? So you could be working with children. Some of you could be beginning professions where you work with kids. You could be also becoming a counsellor, and some of you could be doing inner child work. This actually came up with Virgo too. There's going to be a full moon in your sign as well, which is going to throw you into the spotlight. What I will say is this: some of you are very anxious at the moment about something. We have the anxiety card and the appreciation card. I know that it pains people to hear this, but it might be worth starting a gratitude journal or focusing on what it is that you're grateful for, because even when people go into recovery and rehab programs, focusing on gratitude is always one of the main steps, because it shifts the perspective from want to lack, and needing nothing attracts everything. So for a lot of you, you need to focus on appreciation for what you have. I also think for some of you in relationships, if you have relationship anxiety, you might have trust issues or a fear of abandonment. But for a lot of you, what I'm seeing here with the Justice card and the Two of Cups in the same spread, if you're in a relationship and you're scared of being left, I really feel like you're with somebody who's honest and who will tell you the truth. And if they didn't with Justice card, you could be pretty sure that they would get a good slap on the wrist from the universe, because it's a very karmic card. But I do feel for the most part, if you have relationship anxiety, I don't feel like it's intuition for you. I feel like you're maybe someone who is afraid of being left, and you need to appreciate what it is that you love about yourself, what it is that you like about yourself, and what you appreciate about your relationship. So let's get some clarifying cards for you, Pisces. Because I do think that a lot of you are maybe a bit more anxious than your situation, because with the Five of Swords here, I do feel that a lot of you have a fear of rejection and maybe even not being liked. So there seems to be an opportunity coming to you either in love or in business, and you have a fear of not being liked or being rejected or being, screwed over. And I think it's because as a Pisces, you've probably attracted, with the Devil card here, you've probably attracted a lot of toxic relationships, codependency or narcissistic people or sociopathic people, or people with significant issues that you've tried to fix, that you simply cannot fix. And I think for a lot of you, it's made you see yourself as a page. And this can also be in the workplace, that you were bullied by someone who was a narcissist or a sociopath. You've been bullied and you don't see your talents or your abilities or what you're good at, Pisces. And I think one of the blessings coming to you is that you're going to have opportunity and creative freedom to show off your talents and to get recognized for your talents, Magician, and to see that you had the right tools all along. You had everything you needed. You just had to go through an experience maybe with someone who was testing your self-worth. I do think for a lot of you, there is either in your past, or maybe you're even dealing with this now, a really unhealthy person, someone who's very controlling. I think for a lot of you, this is a boss more than anything else, being bullied by somebody, being hurt by somebody that was just not a good person. And I think for a lot of you with that Page of Pentacles, it shows in your vision of yourself that you don't think you're talented enough. You don't think you're worthy maybe of love, or you maybe don't think that you're worthy of success, or being liked by people that you work with, or something like this. With the King of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and Judgment, I absolutely feel a lot of you watching this may have been bullied at work, especially by a boss. Or a lot of you might have been overlooked for opportunities, and so you reached a decision, I'm out of here. Some of you might have realized an earth sign in the past, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. It doesn't have to be, but you might have thought someone was wonderful, but they were actually kind of rotten underneath, and that coming out rattled you. And this might have been in 2020. Might have been back in 2019, but whatever way that it's worked, Pisces, is that you're starting to see your worth, your value, your talent, your beauty, and your abundance. You're starting to see what makes you abundant, what makes you wonderful. So that is what I'm seeing for you in a beautiful way. I see you seeing your self-worth. I see you healing your negative vision of yourself, and that in turn is going to heal you financially. So let's see, Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you had to, I actually think a lot of you had to go through certain situations to stand up for yourself. But I also feel like some of you might find, if you're scared of being left, you could possibly be, or you're scared of being hurt, you could possibly say things that aren't really, fair. Just be careful with that. With Mercury going retrograde in Libra, be careful of saying things through a feeling of paranoia or suspicion or just insecurity, because when Mercury goes retrograde in the 8th, Pisces, it can pull up your feelings that aren't comfortable so that you can transform them. The 8th house is where we transform psychologically. Some of you might find working with a therapist with Judgment and the Empress really helpful if you've been betrayed in the past. That could be something you need to acknowledge. And one of the blessings coming for you, Pisces, is a lot of prosperity, money improving, solidness, feeling financially dependable, feeling like you are, yes, High Priestess, that's you, feeling like you are in a good space spiritually because you've got into a good space financially. You have a lot of stuff in the 12th house, so you're working on healing. you've been healing a lot this year. And it's brought up some past memories, it's brought up some past experiences, it's brought some fears to light. And that's especially in terms of your relationships with teams or friendships or something like that. And you're finally coming to the stage where you've done enough healing that you can get to grips with your finances in a big way. You know, you can get to grips with what it is that you need to do in order to feel secure. And I think a lot of you are going to be attracting good money coming up as well. And with the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Cups, I do feel a lot of you have anxiety about romance and relationships, and that these fears with the Page of Cups are likely unfounded. If you're looking for love, I do see a very significant relationship happening to you, but it requires you to be vulnerable. It requires you to be open. It requires you to let go of the past. Especially, I have to say, it requires you to be all right with someone taking care of you. You know, if you being open and letting someone be there for you is something I actually think you're struggling with, because you're so good at being there for other people, Pisces, that sometimes expecting people to hold space for you is something you struggle with, especially if you've been hurt by friends. Especially if you've been hurt by friends, Pisces. A lot of you have a really dear friend with an Aries. An Aries, or you have a romantic relationship with an Aries where there's a really strong spark and new potential. So there could be something new happening with an Aries that's exciting, or an Aries, you know, sun, moon, or rising, could be a friend, could be a lover, could be someone in your family. There's something exciting. There seems to be a wonderful spark and something to be enjoyed. I also feel for a lot of you that your career, whatever you do for a career, is going to be reignited because of the stability that's coming to you. So your stability, your foundations are going to bring you a lot more success in terms of your passions and your enthusiasm, Pisces. So that is what I see for you. I hope you have a beautiful September, fall, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.